really focusing on the me and now and the business and the busyness rather than on what we can do together to become better.
Okay, when you talk about behavior shift,
Yeah.
what is the challenge that you normally face when you talk to leaders nowadays?
So I spent around 23 years in hospitality, doing learning and development, being in charge. I just made a leap of faith and started to be on my own journey, which was
Today we have inspiring guests with us, Simoneta Varkova. Welcome to Monday Talks. I'm thrilled to have Simoneta with us today. Simoneta is a seasoned expert in advancing strategy, thinking, operational efficiency, and behavioral competence of executive managers. And I am the host, your host, Daniel Tokap. Today we have the founder of Parallel Connections, who has a wealth of experience in shifting teams from potential to performance. Simoneta, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Danielle. It's a great pleasure to be here.
Again, before we dive in, the treasure of wisdom, here is a little something from the heart. You know, every subscription, every like, every share means the world to us. It's not about numbers, it's about the incredible community we're building together. So if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button and drop a like and share with your friends. It's not just a support, it's a journey we're taking together to spread these great minds and even their gifted stories. Alrighty, let's start by saying, hey, who is Simoneta?
That's a very actually a challenging question. Just in a short term, I consider myself being on a mission to develop people, to make their life easier, to make them more successful, to gain as much out of their potential as possible, and not just of their potential, but as also from their team potential.
Nice.
So once I started doing this as a training manager a very long time ago, and it just became who I am, my mission, my life mission.
Okay, so that is the mission. How about the journey that you've been through to come up with this amazing idea and shift from corporate life into helping individuals and teams become exceptional leaders?
So I spent around 23 years in hospitality, doing learning and development, being in charge of learning and development at the hotel levels, at the corporate levels. And then, as many of us experienced, COVID came, right? And it was a time of changes, big shifts, big changes, people starting to do new things. And I actually arrived to a point where I also went to a certain big change. It was generated when my mom died, and I could
So,
only have 4 last days with her um, during Christmas, and I had to return back to Dubai. And then she died, and then I realized, because I had so much time to think, I realized what is actually important for me and what I want in my life and what I don't want in my life anymore. So I decided not to look for a corporate job anymore, but to actually start working on my own business because I wanted to have the flexibility. I want to work for more people. I want to work for more sectors. And I wanted to actually decide about my time. And having all this knowledge in my head, obviously the professional knowledge, which I gained over the time, but not having enough knowledge about business development and about all these visibility techniques, I just made a leap of faith and started to be on my own journey, which was a very powerful point for me. And I realized that it was just about my decision. It was simply realize what is the priority for me and what kind of priority it's me, myself, my personality, right? What do I need in my life to be happy and fulfilled?
Was it? Sorry for that. It's the loss of your mom. I'm so sorry. My deepest condolences for that. Was it the loss of your mom that made you think and take that step back and see a different future for you? Or was it going to happen at some point, no matter what?
It was like combined, definitely. The loss of my mom was the point where and at that time, we were at home anyways because there was a lockdown. And during this time, I simply had a time to think. And just because I was having my last 4 days with her, and then I was sitting here and thinking, okay, what was important for me at that point was really to be um, flexible and having my freedom and having my own decisions to make. And uh, this you cannot always do when you are at a corporate job. And your days are flying, passing by, and you just spend your time working from 9 to 8, 10, 11. It depends what are the projects. So I believe that at that point, I made a very big decision because before that, it was impossible. It was for me something which I couldn't even think of, to be on my own and work on my own and take care of my income. That was absolutely impossible for me to do before. But this period, which was full of challenges, heaviness, this crisis in the world, I took it as it is a great opportunity, actually, right? What is this period telling me? What should I do? Should I continue what I was doing before? Or should I completely change what I was doing and start something new or start to do things in a completely new way? And I think that was the breaking point. And this is from where it all started. In my
Mm,
life, I consider my life being very enriched since that time, about people, about opportunities, about places, but mostly about this diversity of people I'm working with, I'm talking to.
mm.
It's a fantastic opportunity.
Let's say that moment was the shifting stage
Yeah,
of your life, right? The loss of your
big.
mom and COVID all together made you think, and
Yeah,
you came up with, I should exit this 9 to 11 thing and find something for my own.
yeah.
Okay, let's move forward and see like what was the desire or passion behind you going in this direction by saying, um, how do you think you can add value to those individuals or leaders that are there in the corporate life?
Well, because I saw many leaders in my life, I worked with many leaders in my life, and I knew what is their world like, right? And that they are so busy, they don't have time. They could attend some classes which were not always bringing them to the behavioral shift, right? Because everything is happening in a very fast pace in hospitality, and people are working, shift and they are also there all the time because there is always something happening. Events are happening. They have their own project. So I knew how little time they have actually for development. And many of them, they are not getting any development because they are somehow not part of any structure within the company. So first of all, I wanted to help people who are not getting so much learning and development within their structures. Then I wanted to look at different sectors because of the fact that many things I'm doing are very much applicable in other sectors because team leaders are everywhere. People who are leading teams are everywhere, right? In every sector. So because I'm curious, I wanted to learn about what other sectors are doing, what are their challenges, how can I help them overcoming those challenges with the techniques, methodologies I know and I'm using. And obviously, my special work is dedicated to one-on-one work and
Okay.
one-on-one coaching because for me, these are very personalized conversations what I'm leading with the leaders, and there are big behavioral shifts.
Okay, when you talk about behavior shift,
Yeah.
what is the challenge that you normally face when you talk to leaders nowadays?
They are very, very busy and they have their brains full of stories, full of things. And usually there is a big emotion tied to it, right? They are tired, they don't have time to sleep. And I know here around Dubai, so many people are telling me they don't sleep enough. So combined with the tiredness, with exhaustion, and with a certain level of stress, they have a really difficult time to understand what is going on for them right now. And they don't have the power by themselves to do the shift, to really assess where they are and move forward. So me as a coach, I am acting like the mirror. We are uh, both having the conversation. I'm listening to them. I'm looking at them. I am sensing what they're going through and basically then pointing out what I see and what I hear and what I feel. And that makes them actually stop. And when then I ask, okay, what is standing out for you after everything what you just told me? And this is where they are able then to realize, right, I am not placing any priority to myself. I am doing everything just for other people, but I am not doing anything for myself as a leader. And this is actually usually a big start for a totally different conversation. So,
Hmm.
what I see on the people I work with is when we start, it's a lot of disappointment, frustration, stress, anger, sometimes tears. And when I'm talking to them after 2 months or 3 months of our work, I see new energy, excitement, new plans, joy, and ability to realize, all right, there is so much potential even with my team, which I didn't see before because of really focusing on the me and now and the business and the busyness rather than on what we can do together to become better than we
Hmm.
are today.
Is it like changing their mindset, or what is the thing that you change in their life?
It's the way they think about themselves, the way they think about the team, the way they see themselves, right? Because usually the people that come to me are desperately looking for something, one thing, but then we realize after one or two conversations that what is stopping them is actually themselves, right?
Oh,
Nobody else. So it's a beautiful discovery. When I should use a metaphor, it's like when you have an onion, and every time when we have a conversation, there is one layer of the onion that is
coming out.
going down. And it is a beautiful discovery even for the people because they would not really have the time or the possibility to look into themselves. From where does it come? What's stopping them? There is the
Mm.
beautiful connection to their childhood and what they listened to when they were children from people who were very important to them, right? And today, actually, it is a block that stops them from being better, from being more themselves. So
Mm. How about
it's a,
how about the story? Can you share a success story of example, let's say, of a leader or a team that underwent the transformation with your guidance? And what were the key takeaway of that experience?
um, well, the team that was there, but actually was not performing well. They were all happy about their positions. They were enjoying that they are in the leadership roles, but they didn't connect at the level of talking about who we are, what are our challenges, what can we do as a team together for our teams to flourish. So they were sort of like two worlds. There was a line staff world and that was an executive world, right? So I spent with them more than 1 month, and we did certain assessments, we did some core sessions, and then I was doing individual sessions with them and with their teams. And them understanding first their team and their passion and their internal motivation and their level of collaboration was the initial key for ensuring that their teams are actually collaborating together, trusting each other. Foundation for everything is a level of trust. And usually when the teams are not performing, is that they either don't trust the leader or they don't trust each other within the team. So basically what happened was we first built the level of trust in the team, and afterwards we actually started to build their daily habits, their weekly habits, monthly habits, in order to ensure that the operation is moving from lower quality to high quality. We were uh, creating the basis, the foundation for the quality delivery, their sequences of service, their standards, and their adherence to them on daily basis, which was actually a service culture that
Mm.
made them move forward and stick to it. So every new person who then joined the team went through an orientation and knew what the hotel was about and what were they actually then committed to do in the operations. So it was actually a big shift in that place because when we were looking at their KPIs and their success measurements, which was the employee engagement and the quality, ratings that they went above 16% in the employee engagement and 25% in the quality delivery.
Oh, I was
So
going to ask how do you measure the success of your course or the output or the transition you made after communicating with teams or with your clients or employees or leaders? Sometimes the KPIs are just like business focused rather just like individual focused. So
well,
how do you make sure that you have delivered the value you were trying to?
it is actually very important for me, right? So before I actually design an activity, I have a very, let's say, long conversation with the HR department or the general manager. And we are really looking at what are the root causes and what we need to address in order to move the team forward, but also how are we going to measure what would be the impact of the activity. So usually what we are looking at is the retention rates, because the hotel may tell me, oh, we have a very, big number of employees leaving, or leaving within the first 6 months, or we are looking at the employee opinion survey, where there are particular questions that we will look at how employees will be responding to them, and that will be related to what we actually just done. Or we will be looking at the mystery shopper results, because obviously hotels have either 2 times up to 6 times mystery shoppers coming to them and measuring their performance. So this is a very ideal measurement, because it's really showing how the hotel is performing, and it's sending the signals, what is happening there on daily basis, because we never know when the mystery shopper is coming. Or we can have also internal testing resources. So people, leaders, managers, or people coming externally who are doing the mystery shopper services at the place. So I would not do an activity without being able to measure the impact, right?
That's
Because this is the value we are delivering, right? This is the value the client is paying for. So definitely this is part of my pre-initiative conversations. This is the part of what we are discussing, what we are determining. And it's either for a team, it's either for the hotel, it's either for the company, or it's for an individual when he is in the individual coaching. But
okay.
absolutely, goals are important. And how are we going to measure the success? It's critical. It's absolutely important.
If you had to give one piece of advice to leaders aiming to become more compassionate and caring in their leadership style, what would it be?
Well, you already said compassionate and caring that they should become, because um, people became much more sensitive after COVID. And the whole world is talking about it, that many people would not accept what was happening to them prior to COVID. They want to feel that they are part of something big. They want to belong. They want to be acknowledged. They want to have a voice. So a leader definitely needs to be empathetic to be successful. It cannot just be one-way communication. It has to be a two-way communication. He needs to listen to people. He needs to understand what is going on with his people, with his team, and address it in a way that is not destructive but motivational, because people perform when they have positive emotions. They perform when they have negative emotions as well, but they make more mistakes. They are disengaged. They can't wait until it's 5 or 6 o'clock and they can leave the workplace. They are not giving their very best. Whereby, when they have positive emotion, when they trust the leader, and empathy and compassion is a trust builder, they are able to move mountains. And nowadays, when we have to achieve more with less people, because everywhere there are less people in the team like it was before, those things are absolutely critical.
Okay. How about um, I am a leader, okay? How do I sense that I need support with coaching? What are the symptoms? Should I notice in my own behavior or performance that, hey, I need to stop, I need help?
This would be ideal, Daniel. This would be absolutely the ideal, but it's not happening in this way usually. With some people, yes, but many times there are these big unknown unknowns what the leaders have. They don't know, right? So obviously performance reviews at work, but they must be done objectively,
Mhm.
not subjectively, or somebody telling them, oh, I hear that you are very difficult to work with and the team is complaining. So it would be great if you could do something about it. Or his clients are telling him that it would be great if he could work on himself in the way he's presenting or in the way he's negotiating or the way he's treating his team members, because sometimes leaders are giving negative feedback harshly in front of the clients to their team members, right? The client notices. So it's based on the feedback from outside, or they can take some assessments that are available, either paid assessments or free assessments. And those assessments would show them what are their strengths and what are their opportunities for improvement. And nowadays, people like to focus on their strengths. Definitely, it's very motivational, it's very positive. But if one of those challenges they have is not enough empathy or not enough compassion or not enough ability to connect with people and get emotional insights, that's a challenge that actually needs improvement. Now it's not their strengths, but it can become much better than it is right now. And in such way, they can become much better leader as they are right now.
Okay,
So feedback is a key for me, getting feedback from others.
sure. Okay, the time has run out for me, and I didn't feel it. It's like going so fast. So, how can the audience connect with you and learn more about your work?
Well, I will be happy that my audience will go to my website, parallel-connections.com, or to my LinkedIn profile, Simoneta Vargova, where they can find my phone number and connect with me by WhatsApp. I am very active on social platforms, so I can respond immediately and we can start our conversations. And it will be actually a great pleasure to have them coming and to start helping them on becoming better leaders of themselves or leaders of teams. It will be a great pleasure for me to do so.
One last request in one line or two. What are you offering to leaders?
Well, I'm offering leadership skills workshops, public speaking, team workshops, and customer training. That's it, 4 pillars.
Well, thank you very much, Simoneta, for sharing invaluable insights on leadership. team transformation, and your journey to become an exceptional leader. Your expertise was truly inspiring, and I'm sure our audience will benefit greatly from this conversation. It's been a pleasure having you on board with Monday Talks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Thank you.
To all of you, our viewers, remember to follow, like, subscribe to Monday Talks, and more insightful conversations like this one is on the way. Until next time, stay empowered and take care. Bye bye for now. Bye, Simoneta.
Thank you.